Alright, welcome back everybody, and greetings. It is the Narshe review, or should I say the Hoth review, because we have Darth Vader. So, yeah, let's go ahead and remind you how we do this. So, scale of 1 through 10, we rate the characters. Oh crap, I didn't do it in order of appearance on here. Okay, I'll have to go around and grab the ones in order of appearance. My bad. So yeah, we do them, we rate them in order of appearance. And we rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being absolutely useless, 10 being totally essential to our team. And yeah, let's just get started with the man, the myth, the legend, the Sith Lord himself, Darth motherfucking Vader. So, sadly enough, as cool as Vader is, he's not that good. He's got question mark drain, which has a giant pool of spells that drain, like drain, osmos, life shaver, empower, things like that. Things that are only going to be good if he doesn't have any HP. So, if he loses HP, then question mark drain is okay. But having multiple uses of that drain isn't going to be good either, because he's going to do it once, get all his HP back, and every drain skill he does after that is not going to do anything. So, question mark drain's pretty bad. His magic power is 50, and he does have Bolt, because we have a Mithril Shield that is teaching that, and that's what he had equipped to learn it. Other than that, he's not that great, man. Depending on what espers he can equip, he might be better, but he does have a magic command, so at the moment I'd put him at like a 4. So we'll just see how things shake out for old Darth Vader here. Alright, so next in line would have been Cammy, right? Yeah, Cammy saved Darth Vader. So Cammy, from Street Fighter, Delta Red Cammy, frickin' awesome. So, she is currently equipped because she was the lock scenario. What we were trying to do with her is give her the Mithril Shield right this second, so she can learn Bolt and actually have MP, so that I can equip her with the Rune Edge, because she's the only one that can equip it, and it can actually MP critical. She's not going to be very helpful casting Bolt, so we may as well give her the Rune Edge. Also, she has our element. Now, this skill is decent. She's only got 22 magic power. This is okay early game, right? Because it is a randomly chosen elemental attack, usually an AoE, which is pretty good early game, but later when stuff starts absorbing everything, it's not going to matter, because there's no non-elemental attacks in our element, obviously. So, not the greatest. Again, she does have a magic command, so depending on espers, we'll see, but we aren't rating based on that right now. So we are, however, on having a magic command. So the fact that she's been pretty helpful early on with our element, and she'll probably be okay for a little while, I would probably put Cammy at like a 5 right now. She's a 5. She's better than Vader. Okay, let's go ahead and unequip everything that you have on right now and heal you up. There we go. Okay, so after Cammy was Magus. He is Edgar in this seed, and it's Magus. It's Chrono Trigger character, which automatically makes me super happy. He has a couple of things that are kind of interesting. Number one, he's not equipped, and he's low on MP. I guess we'll give him our 1 tincture here. There we go. And a potion. So, Magus, he's super interesting, man, because he rolled Reflect as a skill. He's also got Morph, which we might get to use a little later, and X Magic. So having X Magic makes a ton of sense for Magus. He is Magus, after all. But having Reflect as a command he rolled might come into play later on, and be pretty dang helpful, because, I mean, just having Reflect for free is nice. It almost allowed it so that we could beat a monster in a clock earlier, but we were too low level to survive the life shaver that he does, but we're bouncing pearls with it and stuff, so there's spots where it's definitely going to come into play. And X Magic is X Magic, and he's learning some really, really good natural magic. He came with Cure, Ice, and Poison, which having Cure on its own is good. And then he learned Ice 2 naturally, and also Slow 2 naturally. So he could, in essence, Slow 2 and Ice 2 in the same turn, which would be really nice. So he's pretty good. The thing that sucks about having X magic is that you always have to cast 2 spells, which is really MP intensive. But, you know, once we get the World of Ruin and we're allowed to use the MP cost reduction relics and stuff, it'll be different. By the way, of course, my rulebook is in play for this run. And we're also doing 1 relic per character challenge. I forgot to mention. But Magus, as far as potential and as far as right now, I mean, he's got some good magic in its X magic. And Reflect and Morph will help his magic damage. It's actually a situation where Morph isn't that bad. I'd probably put him about a 7 right now for sure. Yet to be seen if he gets better than that. Right, next character that we got after that was Stiltskin, right? Yeah, Stiltskin, who's not here. But Stiltskin is the Moogle from Final Fantasy IX, Stiltskin, and he was in Shadow's spot. He got Bismarck. Oh wait, I forgot. Before we get to Stiltskin, Xdev was after that. He's in Saban's spot. Xdev. Let's just talk about Stiltskin in a minute. So Xdev has, number 1, a magic command. Always good. Decent magic power. Also good. Level 5 Doom as a command. Now, that can be good just to throw out sometimes and see if it works on mobs. It's worked a couple of times. It's failed a lot more, but sometimes it works. May as well, if you see a new mob, throw out level 5 Doom and see if it gets them. And then he's got our Water, which is every water skill in the game. AoE. So it's Clean Sweep, it's Aqua Rake, it's El Nino, and it's Bismarck. And yeah, we're getting a lot of Bismarck. There is a whole funky buttload of whales in this seed. So that's pretty good. It's only 1 element, which is arguably better than our element, because if something's healed by water, you just don't do the skill. But if it's not healed by water, you can spam it. Our element is a little more random, so it does become a dead skill if something is healed by water, though, so that's something else. But yeah, he's got a magic command too. He's also learned Bolt. He came with Regen and Berserk and Warp, and then he learned Break on his own. So Xdev right now he's pretty good, like reliable AoE. I'd have to put him at like a 6 at least. He's also got a chance for an instant kill, and he's got a magic command, probably a 7. Actually, he's a 7. So, good on you, Xdev. You're right up there with Magus. Alright, so then we got Stiltskin. And Stiltskin rolled our Blitz, which sucks. It's good. I mean, it did one-shot the Phantom Train because he rolled Bum Rush. But you can also roll Spiraler, and that just kills him outright. So our Blitz, not the best thing to be throwing out all the time. But he also got Bismarck as a command. So not only are we summoning whales with Xdev, frickin' Stiltskin can just do it himself. So there's that. There's whales everywhere in the seed. But Stiltskin, I would put, man, if our Blitz worked right every time, he'd be really high rated. But only having Bismarck, he's probably a 6. I don't think he's quite as good as Xdev, if I'm being honest with you. Alright, so after that, we got Kelga, one of the Dawn Warriors from Final Fantasy V, including my favorite Dawn Warrior from Final Fantasy V, actually. So Kelga doesn't have the Pine attack, but he does have our Wind, which, as you know, we got in the Crimson Forest seed. No, it was in Maria's Magnum Opus, right? Yeah, with Adrian, the alarm clock. We got our Wind. And I was so worried about using it because I thought it had W Wind in it. It doesn't. Our Wind does not have W Wind in it. So, he's pretty good. Except for the fact that his magic power is 19, so he's not doing a lot of damage with the wind attacks he's doing. And he does have a magic command, which, right now, Bolt Drain, he does have W Wind, and Safe. But having yet another single element AoE is okay. He also does pretty good physical damage. We have him with a Morning Star, and he's swinging like crazy and doing pretty good damage to single targets. Excuse me. But, yeah, he's really cool. I probably would put him right under Xdev at a 6 because he doesn't have a secondary skill that's super useful, but he does have magic, which is good. Alright, and after that, returning vet from the Crimson Forest Seed, Chrono. So we have Chrono and Magus, who are both returning veterans, along with Xdev and the character we'll talk about in a minute. But Chrono, even better than his last iteration, is our Berserker. So what we've been doing with him, and he can equip katanas, which is frickin' sweet. So what we've been doing with him, we have a Tempest, so we equip him with the Tempest, and then we equip his relic as the Black Belt. So now, he's attacking every now and then with the Tempest, and proccing Tempest or just doing damage. And then he can tackle people and do a shit ton of damage. And then the Black Belt allows him to counterattack and maybe proc Tempest too. So, Chrono's cool. And he just is. I mean, if you don't think Chrono's cool, what the hell? Why are you watching this channel, dude? It's my favorite video game of all time. So, yeah, Chrono's awesome. No magic command, obviously, because he's the Berserker. Again, I wish he didn't just have Fight as his command, but, you know, whatever. We will find a Blizzard Orb eventually and see what that does. And Rage Ring, he'll just start beast tossing people. So, Chrono's awesome. He's the Berserker. Anytime I get a Berserker at Narshe Fields, it's like an 8. By the end of the game, it'll be a 10. That's just how the Berserker works. Okay. Excuse me. Rufus, Shinra. Rolled in Cell Spot. They changed his profile picture. It's a little weird, but it's cool. He is my favorite character from Final Fantasy VII. Actually, I'm fairly certain he's tied with Tifa, but favorite non-playable character for sure is Rufus. He got our Esper, which is a random Esper summon. Pretty good. Can be. Except for Crusader is an Esper. And if he summons Crusader at all, like say we're deep in a dungeon, we haven't saved for a while, and I do our Esper and Crusader happens, we just wipe. Like, there's no getting out of it. So, very life on the edge there. But, Espers are good. Some of the ones that can go off are really helpful, like Bahamut. We got Bahamut last episode. So it's pretty good. He's got magic. None learned yet, but regardless of that, yeah, I like him. And yeah, I think I would rate him. It really depends on what Esper he rolls, so he's probably around the same as Stiltskin because it's so random. And it could kill us at any moment. I'd probably give him a 5 or 6. So, there's Rufus for you. He needs to be healed up, too. What the hell, dude? What'd you do to yourself? Oh, yeah, Doomgaze Tunnel Armor. That's right. So, as far as the seed goes, we are having a couple of early difficult boss fights, like Rizopos with Water Edge, Ultros with Magnitude. That fight was epic. So, we'll see if that trend continues, if some of the early bosses are actually pretty challenging. But, yeah, so far, I mean, the characters, the storyline, we don't really have one yet, except for the fact that there's a lot of characters from different planets, because Samus also rolled into the Moogle spot. So we've got Darth Vader, we've got Xdev, we've got Kelga. Both of them are from Galuf's world, which is a different planet. Then we've got Samus, obviously not from this planet, and Vader. So, yeah. I mean, a lot of people from different planets. We're assuming that Rufus Shinra is from a different planet. Probably one that, you know, obviously they had a space program and everything. So, and then Chrono's from a different time, at least. So he knows he's not home either. And Cammy's from England, which may as well be another planet to the Final Fantasy VI characters. So, and Magus is from Zeal, which isn't necessarily a different planet, but it does float above the planet. But yeah, so that's basically it for the Narshe review. The seed's been fun. We'll have to see how much better it gets. But yeah, until next time, I will see you. Peace.